This is One-on-One.
So your group?
The Varietons.
Yeah, just you and Tommy.
And his brother Nick and this other guy, Nicky.
So where were they?
They went away for a while.
What for?
They did some things.
Friends like that? Maybe you should just change your name to Sinatra.
I'm gonna be as big as Sinatra.
Only if you stand on a chair.
Hey, why you gotta say that kind of stuff?
Look, first of all, Sinatra wouldn't be caught dead in that jacket. Where'd you get it?
I don't know. Tommy got it off a truck.
Exactly. Tommy's a two-bit hustler. He doesn't see the big picture.
Yeah, so what do I do?
Come in. Got a nickel?
To keep me warm. Yeah.
Call your mother. You're gonna be home late.
That's Renee Marino in that very hot scene with?
Renee Marino, and with John Lloyd Young.
In the great movie Jersey Boys, directed by the extraordinary Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite scenes in that movie.
Thank you. It's so surreal still to watch. I'm like, oh my goodness, I really did that.
You really did that?
I really did it.
All the way from Linden, New Jersey.
All the way from Linden, New Jersey. Who would have thunk?
Your journey to there, being a mentee of the extraordinary Clint Eastwood, how tough?
All I can say is you dream when you're a young girl. You know, you dream when you're a young boy. We all, you know, have dreams and goals, and my goal was always to be a performer on Broadway. And I've been blessed enough to be on Broadway in 4 wonderful shows. And one of those shows was Jersey Boys. And one Sunday afternoon, there I am on stage. We're singing My Boyfriend's Back, you know, the sassy girls. And all of a sudden, the light goes out into the audience, and 10 rows back, whose mug do I see? Mr. Clint Eastwood. And I was like, oh. All right, here we go. And, you know, we'd been hearing a buzz that he's coming around to the different casts to, you know, to check out actors for the film. And I didn't think much of it because I assumed, you know, they're going to cast some big name for Mary Delgado. But still, it was exciting to have him in the audience. And then a few weeks later, I had an audition for the film. And, you know, my agents were just wonderful at the time. And, you know, we were trying to get in to get an appointment for Mary Delgado, but I just got an appointment for one of the angels. And while I was in the room, Steve, I was talking to the casting director, and I was like, I have to do this. This feels too right. And I said, I have to be honest with you. I was really hoping to come in and read for Mary Delgado. And he looks at me and he goes, I was just thinking the same thing.
He said that?
He said that. So that day, I got to do the scenes, and I just left that day feeling so grateful that I got the chance. That was my thing. I was like, if this film comes out and I didn't have an opportunity to read those scenes and audition for that role, that would have broken my heart. But once I did, I was like, this is awesome, and I felt great, didn't think anything of it. A few weeks later, I'm at my home that I grew up in New Jersey with my mom, dad, and grandmother. We're leaving for my brother's wedding, and I get a call from my agent, and she goes, you're Mary Delgado in the movie. Clint Eastwood loved you. I was like, ooh. So it was just surreal. Surreal. Yeah, that's the only way I could put it. And even watching it still today, I'm like, oh my, like, I'm on a movie screen. I'm on a TV screen. It's insane.
You know, it's so interesting. John.
Yeah?
The first interview he did was with him one-on-one when it first came out with us way back in the day.
Get out.
And I was hoping that things would turn out for him a certain way, and you wondered after Jersey Boys was a huge hit. It was tough for him for a long time.
Yeah.
To come full circle and to be in this film.
Yeah.
And to be there with you was extraordinary.
So special.
Describe, you know, advice for a lot of young folks, younger folks who want to get into this, anyone who wants to get into it. Constantly dealing with rejection, which is part of the business, part of our business, part of your business.
Yeah.
Advice.
I think the best advice I can give kids, and I teach all the time, master classes, and I love it. I love teaching so much. I often tell them, number one, you have to have the passion. And I graduated from Wagner College in Staten Island, and I majored in musical theater, and that's what our teachers told us, you know, you have to love this so much that you can't picture yourself doing anything else. Because guess what, guys? You're not always going to make money doing this. And there's a lot of rejection. So that's first and foremost. Second of all, train, train, train. Keep taking class forever. You'll always be taking class. I'm out in LA taking acting classes, taking commercial classes. Singing, dancing, all of it.
Everything.
It's always upkeep. Because guess what? This is your instrument as an actor, as a dancer, as a singer. So it's about always, you know, keeping that in tune, just like a computer, you know. You have to update programs. Well, you always have to keep yourself, you know, healthy and strong. And third of all, just keep dreaming. You know, like I said, this film for me was more than I could have imagined. You know, it was more than I ever dreamed of. So just never stop going. You have to keep going forward, and even through the rejection, always stay true to yourself. And that's what my father always said.
Yeah, talk about family for a second, because actually, the irony is that while I saw you in the movie and loved you, our friends from Fedway told me
Mr. Neil Barnett.
Yeah, Neil's a good guy.
Great guy.
And Rob Sansone, those guys told me about you, and I go, wait a minute, how do you know her? And there's a connection back to your family. Even though we're in the heart of New York City here in Lincoln Center, Broadway, right down the street, your Jersey roots mean a lot to you.
100%. Steve, I am such a family-oriented person. You know, my mom, my dad, they're my best friends. My grandmother, who actually just recently passed, was my other best friend. Thank you. And her name was Frances. I call her Franny Panties. She's sassy, just like Mary Delgado. She was very sassy. They're the ones who instilled, I feel, the most important values that I could ever have learned.
Describe them.
My father always said, you know, I was always a perfectionist my whole life, even as a little girl, you know, trying to write my ABCs perfectly, and he'd be like, Renee, you gotta let yourself go. Take one thing at a time, but no matter what, you stay true to yourself. Always remember where you came from, you know? Don't get swayed by, you know, oh, you should be more like this. You should try this. It's like, no, this is who I am. This is how God made me, and I'm just gonna put my best foot forward. And I feel like that's what's such a blessing for me, having such a strong support system, my family. That's what's allowed me to get to this point in my career. I mean, till this day, you know, I'm married, talk to my mom every day on the phone.
You do?
Oh, of course. My father, we're, you know, every day checking in, how are you, what's going on? And that's so important. When I got to the set that first day, I was never on a TV show, never did a film, never.
Because everything was staged.
Nothing, yes, everything was staged. So here I am, literally walking off of a cliff, it felt like, and I was like, all right, Dad said, let yourself go. Here we go. And it was such a family atmosphere, and that's what the crew.
Was that because of Clint Eastwood?
Yes, it always starts from the top down, and he is one of the most genuine people that I've ever met, truly. And then meeting the rest of his team that he always works with.
Look at that shot.
I love him. He's just the best. He is the best. He is all about family. He's all about, there's no ego when it comes to Clint Eastwood. So for me, I mean, I connected with that so much because that's who I am. You know, I love surrounding myself with good people, and him and I had a conversation about it the first day on set. We had lunch together
About family?
About family and about life is too short to surround yourself with people that don't lift you up. So, I mean, he's such a mentor of mine. All of his crew, Steve Campanelli, who's his head cameraman, we call him Campy. You know, I still check in with them, and I mean, I just feel so grateful for that experience, Steve. Not just because I got to be in a major motion picture, but I got to do it with a group of great people.
Interesting, the transition from stage to film, challenging.
Oh, yeah.
But also, a film like this comes out. There's an audience for it. Most of us who love the Broadway production wanted to see it. Others who are curious.
Yeah.
They know you now. Who didn't know you before, whatever. How much pressure do you put on yourself, in spite of all the support, in spite of what your dad told you, Clint Eastwood told you, how much pressure do you put on yourself to say, this is what I need to do next? Or do you just let the universe decide?
Such a good question. High five. It's a balance between the two, honestly. I mean, for me, how incredible. You know, I get to play this incredible role in my first film. So now, yes.
Yeah, what do you do for an encore?
Exactly. It's like, what's next? It's like, well, I want to know the same thing. You know, I got to play my first guest star role in a TV show called Weird Loners with Fox. So that was awesome because that got my feet wet for TV.
Right.
And now it's just about, like you said, leaving it up to the universe, you know? I go to these auditions and, you know, I keep my face out there. I have great agents, you know, who have my back. But in the meantime, Steve, it's about nobody's going to work harder for me than myself. So it's not about just waiting around and hoping that something. No, you don't wait.
You don't actually say, hey, why is my agent not calling?
No.
You say, I have to be my own best cheerleader. I have to get out there.
Yes, you create opportunities. So I just wrote my own one-woman show. And yes. So hopefully you'll come see it when I bring it to New York. But it's so, so exciting for me. It's about my life and about, you know, my upbringing with my mom, dad, and my grandmother, and the stories about Franny Panties and about making the transition from Broadway to being
Italian Matter too?
Of course.
I knew that.
It's all in there, of course, you know? And I get to sing, and that's the thing, you know, a lot of people in the film world don't know that I'm a singer and a dancer as well. So, you know, I could show a little bit of everything.
Favorite scene in the movie?
Ooh,
was it that?
The fight scene.
The fight, oh,
the breakup scene.
Jen Eichlin, our executive producer, can we run the clip?
Yes,
the fight
please.
scene? The fight scene.
That.
This is what she says to Frankie when she has to say this to Frankie.
You show up for a couple of days and you think that makes you a father?
That's why I'm here. Not stoned out of my mind. You think the kids don't know what you're doing?
You want to switch places anytime. There's the kitchen,
you go
there's
out
the
on the
washing
road.
machine.
We've only got but you, man.
No, thanks. I wouldn't want to cramp your style.
Listen, the road is the road. I'm out there busting my hump to provide for this family. There was
Your family's out there. You think I don't know what goes on? Here. Give it to one of your special friends. Go tour to space for all I care. You'll be what you always were. A dumb wop from Jersey who never even graduated high school. Mr. Valley with a Y. Give me a break.
Pick that up. Pick that up.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by PNC Bank, Bergen Community College, United Water, Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, and by Fedway Associates. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.